What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Hope everyone's having a great day out there. And we are going to do our little Monday roundup where we're going to talk about some reviews and some releases we got last week and maybe what we can look forward to this week. So before we get into it, I'd ask if you could please consider dropping down and grabbing that subscribe button, hitting the like button and the little bell for notifications. Please consider subscribing if you like 1/6 scale Hot Toys and other 1/6 scale figures like that. So the big news, I'm on the NeoGeeks website to start out, but our biggest news last week was the release and announcement of Spider-Man integrated suit, which had a collector edition and a deluxe version. The deluxe version comes with this base you can see right here, and this is a pretty big deal because we weren't really sure at the time how many suits we were going to get Spider-Man wise, and I think we've probably reached that maximum. The black suit, which is I'm going to call the Doctor Strange suit because it seems to have some Doctor Strange powers, and then of course the integrated suit, we have the Iron Spider suit, which is that suit, and then the upgraded suit combined to make this one. So right now we've seen 4 suits, and I feel like that's probably the maximum we're going to see from Tom Holland. Now, there's still that opportunity that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in it, and if they are, of course, they'll have their own respective Spider-Man suits. But wouldn't it be something, this is something I thought about a few days ago, but wouldn't it be something if the black suit, which is the Doctor Strange suit, was actually Andrew Garfield and not Tom Holland in the trailer, or it could be Tobey Maguire. That suit looks like it's designed to take out the Sinister Six one by one. From the trailer, he's fighting Electro. We see him fighting Electro with that. And even though there's a phone taped to his chest that's got MJ and Ned on it, who knows? It's just kind of a throw it out there and see what happens. See if it sticks to the wall style theory. But that's not what this is about. We're not going to talk about the trailer. If you want to talk about the trailer, you want to go see my thoughts on the trailer, I do have a video up on the channel that talks about the trailer we got. But more importantly, we did get this suit last week, and this thing looks really nice. I mean, just the base in itself is really cool. We get the pumpkin bombs and the tentacles there. But I mean, I'm going to scroll through a few pictures here. We get kind of more of a closer up for look at it. That's not a bad look there. I love the gold trim on this thing coming across and down and back and around. And then I like these gloves. These gloves remind me, this kind of right here reminds me of the Miles Morales suit. I don't know if that's what they're going for. It could be. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's just kind of the way it was designed, but that's what it reminds me of. So just kind of throw that in the back of your head. There's always that potential that Miles Morales shows up either at some point in this film, and they've kept it a secret, or perhaps instead of it being Tobey and Andrew and it's thrown everybody off, maybe it's Miles Morales and another Spider-Man from the multiverse. You never know. You never know what Marvel can throw at us. But this is $425, the deluxe version. The collector edition is $285. So you're paying an extra $140 for the base, and then the additional head sculpt, which is the half-mast head sculpt. And this is January 2023 to March 2023. And if you go on Sideshow.com, you can actually pre-order this without putting down a non-refundable deposit. I'm not sure why the Spider-Man figures are like that. Every Spidey figure that I've ever tried to pre-order, you do not have to put down a non-refundable deposit. For some reason, when it comes to these figures, they don't require it, but every other figure they do. Go figure. So let's come over here. And speaking of Spider-Man, unfortunately for the Spider-Man fans for PlayStation 4 and the SpiderPunk, if you were planning on getting the SpiderPunk from Hot Toys, he is now waitlisted. So if that was something that was on your Christmas wish list, then my suggestions would be to jump over here. The wait list is still open. Jump over here, hop on the wait list. You might get lucky, you might not. Considering that this figure has been out for so long and set up on the website for so long, I'd say your chances of getting him are probably pretty slim at this point, because they probably only had a few left. And usually, if it's sitting here on the wait list, that means a few people have put it on their they put it on a payment plan. So it'd probably be sitting on here for a couple months, and then it's probably gonna disappear and go away. But we did see, we saw a couple figures go to full purchase. That was Rescue. So you can get Rescue now, buy it and get it. There's no waiting on her. And the other figure, if I recall, Lando did. I don't know if we talked about that one in the last video, but Lando is now full purchase. Hulk, Short Trooper Squad Leader. So I actually have the Hulk. I just got him in a few days ago. I haven't had a chance to put together the video yet and the review, because I have been crazy busy with work. And if you notice, I kind of slacked a little bit this week on some video, or last week on some videos. And for that, I apologize. But like I said, work last week and going into this week has been crazy. So I'm trying to break away just to get a few videos done here. So I got some stuff to upload. So kind of looking at our pre-orders, we've seen Cyborg Spider-Man get released. We've seen Captain Rex get released. These are still up for pre-order. I think that Ahsoka Tano is probably something we could see released this week. Last week we got Captain Marvel. I wasn't able to get the final production photos up on the channel in time just because of work and everything. And I didn't want to go ahead and put them up, and you've already seen plenty of videos of the figure unboxed and things like that. So I didn't want to kind of throw that up there. I felt it was probably a little bit too late for that. But I think Ahsoka should be really I'm actually surprised that she has not already released. She's showing a November to December. It's a really nice figure. I hope that she releases soon so we can get her in the collection. She'll look great next to the Coruscant Guards and Captain Rex. And, of course, Darth Maul when he finally shows up. The other one, and, of course, there's Darth Maul right there. And I think he's still a little ways out, if I remember right. No, he's actually due up here, too. November to December. I haven't really heard anything much about his figure, so I would say that Ahsoka will probably be first. And then we'll probably see him get released, hopefully shortly after. Just kind of scrolling through here. We've got some really good figures up here. Battle Damage Thanos is still pre-order. I know some people have been getting their figures. Same thing with, oh, actually, that's the Bodega Catsuit. Same thing with the Iron Patriot. We've seen that. That's been released for a while. But usually with those bigger Iron Man suits, it takes a while to get everything in because they're of the metal and they're so intricate in their design. And Batgirl. Batgirl's another one. I'm really surprised we have not seen a release on Batgirl. So right there, Ahsoka and Batgirl are the two where I'm kind of looking at going, there's a good chance that they're going to get released in Hong Kong. I'm actually really excited for this figure. I think this figure looks really nice. That's a figure when it gets released, I will probably go ahead and get mine on order. I don't, I've kind of been, some of these ones here, I kind of wait till they get released and then I go ahead and place my order, even though I know I'm going to get a little bit late. And I appreciate you guys still watching the reviews, even though, you know, I'm probably way late to the party on some of these figures, but it just kind of the way it works sometimes. I'm not going to pay the high prices to get the figure, you know, up front, to pay an extra $100 on these figures, because I try to get as many of these figures as I can, if not all of them. And just paying $100 more per figure just isn't very financially smart for me, at least. Some of the other guys out there, they'll do that, but I'm just not in that. Captain America, this one's already been released, and Short Trooper's already been released. The Tusken Raider's already been released. I've got the Tusken Raider on pre-order, still waiting for him to come in. Harley Quinn's already been released. Again, that's another that's I've got on pre-order. The Battle Damaged Mark 85, I'm really surprised that one has not got released yet. So that's another one. So there's kind of 3 figures we could look for. Spider-Gwen's already been released. I think, I want to say Golden Armor Wonder Woman's got to be coming pretty soon. Also, actually, that's February, so she's a little ways out. I think that's going to be a neat figure when it finally releases. And I definitely would suggest getting the wings, this one, because you can kind of maneuver those wings a little bit. The other one, they're basically just still. Captain Marvel just got released. Flash just got released. This is another figure that's due up here before too long. The Cable news that we got like 2 weeks ago was in fact false. There was some miscommunication with some people, but Cable never released. And that's one thing I always like to talk about, even though, you know, a lot of people were getting a little bit hotter in this hobby. So you're going to see a lot of people trying to scoop people, say, oh, well, this one's getting released, this one's getting released, or they jump the gun a little bit. So you want to be careful about that, not get your hopes up. You definitely want to look for that picture that everybody posts. That's the boxes outside the warehouse that have stamped on it MMS whatever, or VGS whatever, or TMS whatever. And that's the official picture you want to look for. When that thing hits, you know that figure is getting released to the public. So, and these are some of the newer ones. Of course, we got the Spider-Man suits, Clone Trooper Jesse, Captain Vaughn. We got this beautiful Batman suit, which we talked about last week. I have the Marty McFly and Einstein. I have this figure in my possession. I just haven't had a chance to get the review done on it. I know a lot of people have started picking theirs up, and I probably should get that on there for the channel for you guys, so you know, you get a good idea of what it looks like and if you want to purchase it. So that's pretty much it for the Sideshow. Let's flip over here to NeoGeek. I really like NeoGeek. I've bought from them in the past. They're in California. They do a really good job. You're going to pay a little bit more for the Hot Toys figures, but it's not, the markup's not that bad. And they do offer free shipping, so that is something to think about when you're doing that. If you buy from Sideshow, you know, you're paying tax and shipping and all that, and these guys offer free shipping. So I think they offer it inside the continental U.S., so you got to be inside the U.S. for that. But we got a couple releases this week that I think are really cool. The Mars Toys Mr. Mike, that's obviously from Breaking Bad. We'll take a look at it. I don't really know much. Breaking Bad was a show that I watched the first season of, and I really liked. And then I never watched season 2. I never did. I never watched anything after that. And it's so weird. It's just one of those shows. And I like the show, and I've never gone back and watched any of it. Or I guess, you know, well, I mean, it wouldn't be a rewatch because I never watched it to begin with. But the first season, I thought it was a great show. But I just never kept up with it. So this figure actually released today. It was teased over the weekend. This is the So-So Toys 1/6 Classic Trickster. So this is the Loki from, the variant Loki from the Loki TV show, when him and Sylvie are, I forget the term they use when they're sent basically to this world, that's like disintegrated or something. And then this is the Loki that's one of them that's there. You got this one, Kid Loki, and then the Loki that, I think that Loki was worthy. The other one was worthy of Mjolnir, if I remember right. And then, of course, Crocodile Loki, and you can see him right there. Yes, you are getting him with this figure, which to me is awesome, is worth the price of admission right there. And you actually get 2 head sculpts with this. I mean, can you believe that? We're getting a third-party figure with 2 head sculpts. That is freaking awesome. And they look very well done. You get the little chalice. Look at that. Looks nice. The little neck piece there with the cape. Kind of got like a Kermit the Frog look to it. But, man, I am really excited about this one. He's May 2022 to August 2022. He's $250. So for third party, yeah, it's probably a little more expensive. But if you're comparing it to Hot Toys, he's right there. He's right there, pretty competitive. It's probably not going to be quite as good as Hot Toys, although there have been a lot of third parties get in my opinion, get closer to that level of Hot Toys. And So has done a pretty good job. I really like the head sculpts on this, and you're getting 2 of them. And you're also getting Throng. I mean, come on. We're getting this guy, too. That was a nice little bonus. I kind of had a feeling there was going to be a third party that would give us Croc Loki. But I didn't know we were going to get him, too. I mean, that's awesome. They just call it 1/6 scale frog. I think that's funny. So this is the one that you're going to get this is the picture you get everything with. So you're going to get the regular head sculpt. You're going to get a dynamic style head sculpt, which I think is awesome. The Chalice, Throng. Sorry, I put an N in there. Crocodile Loki, you get a battle damaged helmet, which I think I would assume fits on his head. It looks like 3 pairs of hands, and then you get 1 extra pair that's got we'll just call it a Loki effect, and you get a nice little base there. I think this is a really nice figure. That's SST 31, I think. Yep, SST 31, So Toys 031. Yeah, so you're getting a lot of things. It looks really cool. That's calls it the 1/6 scale Holy Grail. But that looks really, I mean, I still can't believe we're getting a third party with 2 head sculpts. I think that is just freaking amazing. And the likeness is really nice. I believe that's Richard Grant who plays, I think it's Sir Richard Grant, in fact. It might be, I'm not sure. Who plays this version of Loki. I think the head sculpt looks really nice. So looking forward to that. And then we also got this one announced today. The Two-Face Harvey Dent. This is Toys Trubo. And I have never heard of them before. This is Forever Two-Face. So this is obviously Tommy Lee Jones's version of Two-Face. The head sculpt it's okay. I'm not super pleased with it. But again, this is third party. It's $239, which I think for the head sculpt you're getting is a little bit on the pricier side. I do like that this company is trying to flesh out the Batman Forever line. Obviously, with Hot Toys giving us Val Kilmer and Chris O'Donnell as Batman and Robin, respectively. There hasn't been any signs of them doing a Two-Face or Riddler or anything like that. So there's, this is what this company has decided to do. I'm not very pleased with the head sculpt. I think this side right here, I think looks really nice. But then this side, I don't know how much likeness there is to Tommy Lee Jones there. It just looks like a gangster. Doesn't really look like Tommy Lee Jones, although Tommy Lee Jones kind of looks like a gangster a little bit. But, I mean, that side right there doesn't look too bad. From that, I guess if you view it from this angle, where you're only seeing the regular side of his face, it's not as bad as when you're looking straight down that way. So I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to pick this one up or not. You get a couple guns, it looks like. Again there, just kind of so. I do like the suit, though. With that leopard print everywhere. That looks really nice. And they did tease TTS-002, which will be the Riddler. So expect a Riddler figure from these guys here pretty soon. Hopefully it's going to be, hopefully it'll be a nice figure. I don't know. They may wait to see how this one does in the pre-orders. And if it does pretty well, then they'll probably go ahead and release it. If it kind of sits for a while and no one really orders it, then they may not end up releasing. So here is the title. So you get a diamond, you get a couple coins, the watch, different pairs of shoes. You get 2 guns, revolver style, hands for each set of hands for 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of hands, and then you get this cool Batman Forever base, which I think looks really nice, and of course your crotch grabber, as usual. And I'm confused here because this is a smiling head sculpt and a regular, so maybe we're getting 2 head sculpts. If we're getting 2 head sculpts, this is the first time I've looked at this, so I have not looked at this one before. If we're getting 2 head sculpts for $240, and you're getting, I think that at least puts me more in the ballpark of I would almost purchase this if I'm getting 2 head sculpts. I would prefer If it was down around probably the 220 to 200 to 220, I think is where this really should be, but they're putting it 240. So you get, yeah, 2 head sculpts, normal smiling, body, right hand, left hand, silver, black, revolvers, coin, diamond, watch, shoes, clothing, figure stain. So, I mean, all in all, it's okay. Not great, but it's okay. So, that's pretty much, I don't know if we talked about, I think I did do a review on this guy, but I don't remember, so let's just kind of go over it. So this is the Raven Blade. This is Corvus Glaive from the Children of Thanos. So we've already gotten Ebony Maw in the Space Wizard. We've gotten Proxima Midnight as the Shadow Void, and now we've gotten Corvus Glaive under the Raven Blade. This is the Toys Battalion, but I have a feeling that it's pretty much Toys era, because the Infamous is the ones that have made the first two, and they're almost identical to Toys era in packaging and everything else. So I have a feeling that this guy is just another Toys era production, but it's under a different company name. And I think this figure looks nice. I love the suit on this guy. It looks really cool. The good thing about this is if you have the Captain America movie promo version from Infinity War, you already have the blade. So if that blade doesn't come out quite right, you could always use the Hot Toys version, because that thing's pretty good size. So I'm going to assume that it's to scale where it needs to be. I like the back, the cape here looks really cool. That's a cool design. Yeah, so this is Ura Studios. So that says Ura Studios. This says Toys Battalion. Or Battalion, excuse me, not Battalion. Battalion. But I think it says it somewhere else. Yeah, right there. There's the Toys Battalion logo. So I don't know. Some of these third-party guys can't figure out what they want to call themselves, I guess. So I've got that one on order. I've got him on order. I haven't decided about him yet. That might be let's see what they do with the Riddler. If they bring out the Riddler, then yeah, I might do it. I think he'd probably look really good on the shelf next to Batman and Robin. There's another couple figures. I think those are spring figures, are slated for release. So, and there we have the Ebony Maw figure, which if you want to check him out, I've got a review up on the channel. You can go check it out. It's a nice figure. Being third party, it's a really solid figure. And I'm glad I got it, because I was lucky. I got it real late in the game. I found this place of all places. Were the only ones that had it left for sale, and I was able to pick it up. And I think they actually have some. Yes, I mean he's for sale right now. Infamous Space Wizard, that's him. So you could pick him up right now if you wanted. So keep that in mind if you're looking for that figure. You can't find it. These guys are really, really good, and they ship fast. And I have not had a problem with these guys yet, and I bought a few figures from them. So that is something to keep in mind. So hang on here as a train rolls by as I'm outside. So kind of looking forward to what we could see this week. Now that we've talked about everything from last week, let's kind of talk a little bit about what we're going to what we could potentially see this week. I hit on it a little bit when we were looking on Sideshow about potentially Harley Quinn dropping, Ahsoka Tano, and there was one other where I said, there's a possibility that, Batgirl was the other possibility that she could potentially drop this week. So as we go closer to the holidays, obviously this isn't a holiday week in China. That's a holiday week here in the States. So I fully expect another announcement, and I fully expect a release. Now, announcement-wise, so the kind of the things are, we got the Athena tease a few weeks ago. We have not seen her released yet or announced yet. So that's always kind of stick in the back of my head and say, okay, there's always that potential that she's going to hit the market. Now, we get the Hawkeye show starting on Wednesday. which I'm looking forward to. We get 2 episodes. So I would be very surprised if we do not get a Kate Bishop figure or a Hawkeye figure. I have a feeling that they're probably going to do a Hawkeye figure just because the way it sounds, that this could be Jeremy Renner's last run on the character. So if that's the case, I kind of feel like they will probably give us a figure. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like. Obviously, it's not going to look like Ronin. I do like the Ronin figure. It has its downfalls, and that jacket is the downfall. The zipper on that jacket, I have 2 jackets because the first one broke and then the second one broke again. So either I'm the one that broke it or it's just poorly made. I got it to zip up one time, and it was only because it wasn't on the figure. So that was frustrating. I wish they would have done some sort of magnets on it instead of an actual zipper. Take note, Hot Toys. But I have a feeling we're going to get a Jeremy Renner Hawkeye update. And then I would be very surprised if we do not get Kate Bishop. Because, again, I feel like they're setting up for a Thunderbolt-style team. Now, we did not get U.S. Agent in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. And that one to this day still boggles my mind. I feel like that would have been a perfect figure to do. But again, they haven't. Now, that does not saying they couldn't go back and do it later. Or maybe they're waiting for whenever he's going to show back up. But I feel like that was a missed opportunity on Hot Toys' part. You don't see them go back very often and do figures from movies that I've already released, and we've already moved on 2 or 3 movies down the line, or I guess at this point 2 or 3 TV shows down the line. Except for Iron Man, of course, because Iron Man is their bread and butter. I've talked about it on this channel. I talk about it all the time on the subreddit. Everything. Iron Man is their bread and butter. SpiderMan is their next one. So you're going to see... you're going to get Iron Man releases from now until Hot Toys decides to call it quits. Whether it's re-releases of the Mark 46, please, 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 or the 45, please, 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 or the 42, please, please, please. If we get re-releases of those, great. I would say that I wouldn't put it past them to re-release the 2, the Mark 3, the Mark 4 again, even though it's been released and it was released a couple years ago. Don't be surprised if they don't do it again. The Mark V has been released, and it's on the website here on Sideshow. Don't be surprised if we don't see the Mark VI released again. We just got the Mark VII, and it's sold out, of course. The Mark 47 has been reissued. The Mark 50 continues to sit on here because they made so many of them. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some of those other suits re-released, and don't be shocked if we see some of the House Party Protocol re-released as well. I mean, we got Midas re-released in diecast. I don't think they're going to try to do them all in diecast. I think that's too expensive. But don't be surprised if they go back and revisit some of those suits or give us suits that they didn't give us the first time. They're going to keep that. They're going to keep that in the back of their pocket. And when they need to go to the well, they're going to go to the well. It's just as simple as that. They're going to go dip in that well and say, okay, let's give them the Mark 22. I don't even know what the Mark 22 is. Maybe we got the Mark 22 already, but I'm just saying that always see that as a possibility. But I think that release-wise, I wouldn't be surprised if Ahsoka Tano hits the market this week, or Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey. That's a figure that I feel like they've got to get out the door because they are probably sitting on her Suicide Squad, the new movie that James Gunn did. They're probably sitting on the Suicide Squad until this one gets released so people don't cancel their orders and then wait and pick that one up, because you do have that when you release the same character too many times. People go, oh, okay, cool. I wouldn't doubt it if they didn't have a batch of these get canceled once the integrated suit came out. So that wouldn't surprise me. I like the integrated suit more than this one. I do. More than the black and gold suit. I think it's a better figure. I think it's a better looking figure. But this one has this one's just cool because it's black and it's gold. I think the trim on it looks really cool. But as far as if I'm going to compare the two, I'm going to pick the other one over this one every single time. I just am. And they've updated this. They changed this. This was blue originally. This was blue originally. I think they changed the gauntlets on this too. I think the gauntlets were different. They keep giving us this unmasked thing, and I'm not sure why. I mean, at least for me, I don't pose it that way, but it is what it is. So I think that's kind of where I'm at this week. I expect another release, and I expect another announcement. Now, what that release is going to be, I don't know. I have a good feeling it's going to be Ahsoka Tano, because she's due up, and I've heard through the grapevine that, you know, they've been talking about her for the past about month, and she still hasn't gotten released yet. So I have a feeling she's the one that's going to get released this week. So I think that's going to be it for the video. I think I've talked about everything I want to talk about. I did, however, and let's talk about one more thing before I go. So I have picked up the Rey and Dio set that I've got to do a review on. I have the Marty McFly from Back to the Future I got to do a review on. The Hulk from Avengers Endgame I've got to do a review on. I just got those. Actually, I got Marty in the mail, I think, like 2 weeks ago. The other two I got last week. This week, I am set to get the SpiderMan 2099 suit from the game, the Coruscant Guard, and what is the other one? There's one more. Coruscant Guard. Well, oh, the Armorer. That's what, the Armorer from The Mandalorian. So I'm set to pick those three up this week. So it's going to be it's a pretty big week for me. And I've got a lot of videos. I've still got some figures out there hanging out in the back that I've still got to do part of the retro series and things like that. So keep an eye out for those. But I think that's going to do it for the video. So I appreciate everybody watching. I hope everybody has a great week, and let's pay attention and keep an eye out for those announcements. You want to follow me over on Instagram at the Hot Toys Collector. I post when we get new announcements and new things like that. I'm always posting about it. So appreciate that if you come over and follow me over there. And as always, hope you have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video.